Okay, so before we start, kindly comment 1 if you can hear me clearly. Okay, thank you. Ayan. Okay, so good evening everyone. So welcome to our week 6 live masterclass session. So I'm Coach Alfie. I will be your instructor for tonight's discussion. Okay, so I know some of you are already seasoned business owner. Some are growing entrepreneur. Yung iba naman ay just exploring this world of bookkeeping. And I would like to congratulate you for taking your step of improving your financial knowledge, especially for attending our weekly session. So before we start, pwede ko bang malaman dito kung sino pong nakakompleto from week 1 to week 6? Kindly type me. Ayan. Okay, so very good. Sa mga nakakumpleto. Okay. So congratulations. Ayan. So makikita ko po yung commitment ninyo, no? For taking this online bookkeeping course seriously. Okay. So number 1 is commitment. Ayan. And then syempre yung motivation, andyan pa rin. Okay. So sino po dito ang walang absent sa AC? Ayan, accountability calls. Kindly type 3. Okay, so good. Ayan. So napaka-importante po yung accountability calls po natin, right? So I'm sure dahil nasa week 6 na tayo, marami na po sa inyo yung may mga ka-close na, no? Na mga AC mates. Okay. So very good. So tonight, i-discuss po natin, how to diagnose our clients' books. So for this day, we will have an introduction. Then for the actual demo, okay, so syempre medyo mahaba kasi yung demo natin. Plus, I will also show you yung part na pag-create natin ng proposal. Mas maganda kasi yun na from the demo itself, ilalagay natin sa proposal. So, from the demo and the proposal, I will do that for another session and that will be on Monday. Okay, so for tonight, it's all about the introduction at kung ano yung mga dapat natin i-check when we diagnose clients' books. So, on Monday, we will have a sample case study. Okay? Ayan. Okay. So, how to diagnose clients' books? Ayan. So, kumbaga ginagawa natin itong diagnosis ng clients' books kasi ito yung magiging basis ng ating proposal. Our scope of work, ating strategies, okay, deliverables, and then the whole package of the proposal plus the pricing itself. So, ito yung magiging basis natin. Okay? So, during discovery call, since na-discuss natin ito last week, so towards the end of the call, mini-mention natin yan sa ating prospective client na we will undergo diagnosis of their books. Kaya hihingi natin yung access ng kanilang books and then we will send to them the NDA. So that is non-disclosure agreement. Okay. So kung maalala ninyo, no, nasa script po yon towards the end of the discovery call na i-mention natin ito, no, yung ating SOP. Okay. Before we send them the proposal. Okay. So, syempre, it's a matter of making our prospective clients aware dun sa process natin. Bakit hingiin natin yung access ng kanilang books and then magbibigay tayo ng NDA, okay, or non-disclosure agreement. Okay. So, once na masubmit na natin yung NDA, And then, after nun, makuha na natin yung access ng ating prospective client, may it be QuickBooks, Xero, or kung halimbawa, meron pa silang ibang accounting apps, okay, or Excel files ba yan, then that will be the start of our diagnostic procedure or yung tinatawag natin na audit walkthrough. Okay. So, parang imagine niyo na lang yan, no, na ikaw ay doktor, ayan, may lumapit na pasyente sa'yo, okay, so masama yung pakiramdam niya, ayan, sinisipon, nilalagnat. Ngayon, you will perform a diagnostic procedure para malaman mo kung ano yung cause kung bakit nagkalagnat siya, ayan, bakit siya nagkasipon, okay, so sometimes doctors use yung mga diagnostic procedures like kukuha ng temperature using thermometer, ayan, okay. So, marami siyang gagawin, no? To check and to diagnose yung true status ng kanyang pasyente. So, tayo as an bookkeeper and accountant, yun yung gagawin natin. So, we do the diagnostic procedure para malaman talaga natin kung ano yung mga underlying pains and problems plus the challenges doon sa business ng ating prospective client. Okay, so here are the items to diagnose inside our client's QuickBooks Online or Xero. Okay, so ito yung mga tatandaan natin. Okay, number 1, ito. May it be clean up or catch up or any other challenges of your clients. So determine the period or date range to work on. Okay. So, una-una, tinatanong natin yan, si prospective client, when was the last tax return filed? Okay. So, pag sinabi ni prospective client, okay, the last tax return was filed, okay, 2023. Ayan. Kung pag sinabi niya 2023, so, gagawin mo ang clean up and catch up from 2024 up to the present. Okay? Ayan. So, meron tayong point of reference. Yung point of reference natin ay yung last tax return. Kung kailan na-file ang tax return. Okay? So, number 2 is determine also how the company is organized. So, syempre, tinatanong natin, is it sole proprietor, is it LLC, or corporation? Okay? Then, next is know when the last tax return was filed. Okay, so na-mention na natin yun, no? So, knowing when the last tax return was filed, that will be our point of reference to determine ano yung period or date range ang ating tatrabahuin. Okay? And the next is, you also ask your prospective client kung may mga tendency ba siya na may mix yung kanyang mga personal transactions with business transactions. Okay? Or meron bang mga bank accounts, no? Personal bank account na sinasama niya doon sa QuickBooks na pang-business. Ayan. Okay? Then, next is, make sure, ayan no, i-verify lahat yung mga transactions are recorded in QuickBooks or Xero. So, hindi pa naman natin talaga ito ma-verify lahat unless ma-perform na natin ang clean up and catch up. Yung actual na work na talaga. Okay? So, gagawa lang tayo ng general assessment. Ayan. Okay? So, minsan, chine-check na natin doon sa kanyang books kung meron pa bang natirang mga transactions na nasa bank feeds. Okay? Kumbaga pa, ipapasok pa lang sa QuickBooks. Ayan. Okay? So, nasasabi dito, no? Check the bank feeds in QuickBooks or Xero if there are transactions for review. Pag may makita pa tayo doon na meron pang January 2025, may February, may March, so ibig sabihin, may something kulang sa loob ni QuickBooks. Kasi hindi pa yon siya pinasok. Okay? So, kaya nga tinatawag natin dito for review. So, ipapasok pa lang siya. So, that is due for categorization or for matching. Okay? And then, inaalam din natin kung ilan itong mga transactions and if possible, what's the amount, no? Okay, so we will know if what could be the estimated under or overstatement ng expenses or income para doon sa QuickBooks or Xero ni prospective client. Okay. So, other than that, we can also ask for bank statements, credit card statements, loan statements, and other financial documents. Bakit? Kasi tinitingnan natin, let's say, 2024. Okay. So, tinitingnan natin doon sa last month, which is December 31, 2024, na bank statement, kung ano yung bank balance doon, chine-check natin yan versus doon sa QuickBooks. Hindi ba siya malayo? Okay. Or magkapareha ba siya? Ayan. So that's the purpose. Same with credit card statements and the loan statements. Okay? And other financial documents. So, any differences, it could be merong mga double recording na transactions, timing difference, okay? Or meron ding mga missing transactions. Ayan, kung bakit hindi magkapareha. Okay, halimbawa, dun sa loan statement, at the end of December 31, 2024, nakalagay doon, ang balance na lang ni client ay 10,000. Pero sa libro, nakalagay doon ay 25,000. Okay, so it could be may mga transactions na hindi na i-record. Kaya merong discrepancy. Okay? Kaya minsan, hinihingi natin yung last bank statement. Like, as of December 31. Ganyan. Okay? And then, another one is confirm the chart of accounts setup. Okay? So, although, sa chart of accounts, merong, let's say, yung sa profit and loss, no? May mga income account, may mga expense account, okay? So, depende din kasi yan yung setup niya sa industry or business ni client, okay? So, yung chart of accounts ng cleaning service, iba din yung setup doon sa real estate, iba din doon sa roofing construction, iba din doon sa digital marketing agency. Although, kumbaga pa, mga income and expense account lang din yan. Kaya lang, yung mga names nila, okay, nagva-vary. Okay? But still, yung setup nila, income, expense, ganun pa rin. Okay? So, confirm the chart of accounts, setup. Ayan. Okay. So, isa-isahin na natin ito, no? So, bank and credit card reconciliation. Kung napapansin niyo nauuna talaga ito, bank and credit card reconciliation. The reason is, lahat ng mga transactions na pumapasok sa QuickBooks or Xero, nanggagaling lang yan siya sa bank, sa credit card. Okay? Others, it could be loans, no? Ayan. But generally, yung takbo ng transaction, okay, nag-uumpisa yan siya sa bank and credit card. Sa bank kasi, yan, pinupundahan niya ng money. Okay? So, dito iikot yung transaction. Pag may withdrawal sa bank, possible expenses. Pag may pumapasok sa bank, possible yung mga collections. For the credit card, ganun din, no? Okay. So, pag dumadagdag naman yung mga charges, so that is expenses. Okay. And then, yung isa naman ay payments. Okay. Kaya, ang bulk ng work, when you perform diagnostic procedure, ito yung babantayan nyo, the bank and the credit card. Kumbaga pa, majority of your work comes with the bank and credit card reconciliation. Lalong-lalo na pag may mga payment gateways pa. So, halimbawa, may mga PayPal, may mga Stripe, ganyan. Okay? Lalong-lalo pag mga e-commerce, no? Meron pa yan sila mga third party, let's say mga merchants, no? Shopify Pay, Amazon Pay, ayan. So, i-reconcile din yan siya to validate whether yung mga collections coming from the customers pumapasok doon sa bank account. Another one is the more yung bank accounts, marami yung i-reconcile mo. Okay? So, same with credit card. Kaya nga, tinatanong natin yan sa prospective client. Okay, client, how many bank accounts do you have? How many credit card accounts do you have? Okay, kasi the more the number of the bank or the credit card, mas marami kang gagawing reconciliation. Hindi lang yung reconciliation, even yung mga categories ng accounts na ginagamit. Okay, so nakuha ninyo kung, syempre, pag mas madami yung bank account, maraming expenses, maraming income, o maraming mga transfers, okay, that could be the possible scenario. So, pag hindi yan na-reconcile, ibig sabihin, it's either understated or overstated, may mga missing transaction, may mga dobleng transaction, kahit na naka-online yan or naka-connect, may tendency yan na magdodoble, yung iba magmi-missing. Kaya nga kailangan talaga yung reconciliation. Okay? So, you validate whether yung mga transactions ng nasa bank, nasa credit card, andoon din kay QuickBooks. Okay? So, kaya yung majority ng work ito. At aside from that, ito din yung one of the, what they call this one, yung main factors of pricing determinants. Etong bank and credit cards. Kung ilang bank, ilang credit cards. Yung pricing ng one bank and one credit card, makaiba din yung pricing ng 3 bank accounts and 3 credit cards. Okay? So, kasi pag mag-reconcile tayo is per account, per month, or per cut-off. Okay? So, yun yung usual na workload or majority ng ating work, eto, bank and credit card reconciliation. Okay? So, determine whether bank and credit card account balances were reconciled to bank and credit card statements. So, inaalam natin when was the last reconciliation done. So, is it December 31, 2024? Okay, so ibig sabihin kung December 31, 2024, then from January to July, okay, or from January to August 2023, ayan, hindi na-reconcile yung mga transactions. So, may it be bank or credit card. Ayan. So, pag hindi na-reconcile, so you'll need to do a catch-up reconciliation. Ayan. Okay, kasi syempre, yung mga reconciliation, meron pa yung mga natitirang uncleared transactions, no? Okay, kaya nga, nagkalayo yung bank balance dun sa bank statement versus dun sa bank balance na nasa kay QuickBooks or kay Xero. Okay? So remember, the more the bank accounts and the credit cards, the higher your scope of work and your pricing. Okay? Pag meron kayong prospective client na sinabi niya 5 bank accounts and 5 credit cards, then definitely maraming work yon. So, pwede ka makademand ng price. Kasi pag mag-reconcile tayo per account, per month, okay? Or per cut-off. So, dito umiikot yung transaction ng business, bank and credit cards. Okay? Lalong-lalo na pag meron pa talagang PayPal, no? Ayan. So, iba din yung workflow ni PayPal. Okay? Another one is, if bank and credit card accounts have been reconciled, so may mga instances na may makita ka na pag check mo doon sa reconciliation window, naging off yung beginning balance, may mga errors. So, nagre-red siya, no? So, makita natin yan pag mag-demo na tayo, okay? And then check if there are old and cleared items. So, yung mga old and cleared, ito yung mga transactions na ipinasok na sa Xero or QuickBooks. Kaya lang, hindi siya nasama doon sa pag-reconcile kasi it could be doble. Okay? Doble yung mga transactions. Ayan. Okay? And then check for missing months of bookkeeping or incomplete entries. Ayan. So, syempre, check mo yung natingnan mo na ay hanggang January 2025 lang yung reconciliation. Tapos nakita mo doon sa bank feeds, meron ka pa nakikitang February or March na mga transactions. Ayan. Okay? So, take note of that. So, like I said, ito yung pinakamalaking load mo sa bookkeeping and accounting. Okay. Undeposited funds. Etong undeposited funds, ito yung account na makikita nyo sa QuickBooks. Okay, so iba din yun sa zero, no? So generally, itong undeposited funds, kay QuickBooks mo lang ito ma-encounter. Okay, so pupunta lang tayo sa bank deposit. Ayan, and then review for old balances. Select the payments. Okay, and then review also for old balances in QuickBooks Payments window. So ito yung mga transactions like yung mga cash or even mga checks awaiting for deposits na nilalagay mo na temporarily sa undeposited funds na account. Okay? Na kailangan nating linisin. So possible na ipasok na ito sa bangko kaya lang hindi lang siya na properly match. Okay? So lagi itong ma-encounter using QuickBooks Online. Ayan, undeposited funds. Okay. So another one is for the profit and loss, ito yung mga tatandaan natin. Okay? So review for negative or unusual balances in income accounts. So paano natin malaman yung mga negative or unusual balances? Kung may makita tayo naka open and close parentheses, ayan, yung mga unusual balances. Okay, aside from that, may mga uncategorized income. Ibig sabihin, yun yung mga income accounts na hindi pa siya properly categorized. Okay? So, minsan, tinatanong natin yan siya sa client natin. Okay? So, it could be, etong mga uncategorized income, hindi naman talaga ito income. Kung hindi, let's say, money coming from loans, no? Na dineposit agad ng bank doon sa account ni client. Okay? Ayan. So, syempre, kailangan natin ito i-categorize ng maayos to arrive to the correct account categories. Ayan. Then for the income, meron din tayong unapplied cash payment income. So like I said, yung mga unapplied cash payment income na account, same with undeposited funds, makikita na natin yan siya sa QuickBooks Online. Okay? So usually, makikita natin ito when we choose the cash basis. Okay? So yung accounting method, ayan. So ito yung lilinisin natin pag may makita tayong mga, let's say, mga balances. Or even kahit naka-zero yan siya, kailangan pa rin natin yan siyang linisin. Okay? So, under profit and loss, ayan, no? We also review for loan proceeds. O, yan. Sinabi ko na yan kanina, no? Dito. Okay? So, it could be, etong mga uncategorized income, could be yung mga loan proceeds recorded as income, which is not, right? So, naka-receive tayo ng cash, ayan, tapos na-record siya as income na hindi naman. Yun naman po ay loan proceeds. Okay. So, review also for unusual, unexpected, or uncategorized or miscategorized amounts. Okay? And then, review, suspense, or clearing accounts. Okay. So, may mga accounts tayo na temporarily nilalagay natin, but then towards the end of the year, kailangan nating linisin. Okay? So, it could be timing difference. Ayan. No? Pagpasok sa bank, pero temporarily, nilalagay natin doon. Okay? Nako, umulan pa. Okay. Ayan. Next, for the profit and loss, so after the income, we have uncategorized expenses. So ito naman, yan. So we also review them and then we send list to our clients para matulungan tayo kung saan natin to ilalagay, okay? Kung expense ba talaga ito, baka hindi naman ito expense, it could be an asset, yung mga ganun, no? So, depende yun siya sa maging response ng ating prospective client, okay? And recategorize amounts to correct account categories, okay? Next is, yung kanina, kung meron tayong unapplied cash bill income, eto naman, unapplied bill payment expense, no? So pag nilagay natin yan siya sa cash basis, may makikita tayong zero or any balances. It should be also part of our clean-up process. Okay. So, another one, may makikita din tayong ask my accountant. Ayan. So, parang uncategorized expense din ito or uncategorized account. So, temporarily, nilalagay yan dyan for proper categorization. So, temporarily, ayan, pag hindi natin makita kung anong correct account yung gagamitin, nilalagay natin yan dito. Ask my accountant and recategorize, okay, to its proper account. Ayan. Okay. So, nakasunod ba? Kindly type 4 para malaman ko. So, I'll answer the questions na lang later, guys, ha? Okay. So, nasa introduction pa naman tayo. So, wala pa naman tayo sa actual scenario. Okay? So, kasi eto, mga accounting terms na to, no? Ayan. So, kaya nga, inuunti-unti natin. So, another one, sa profit and loss, eto, review for personal expenses. So, you should ask your prospective client, do you tend to mix or do you tend to use your business credit card to pay for your personal expenses? Siyempre, mapaisip yan siya. Yeah, sometimes. Ayan. So, pag sabi mo sometimes, ibig sabihin, may mga instances na yung mga personal expenses may record as business expenses. Otherwise, pwede mong tanungin kay prospective client what could be the personal expenses na charge mo doon or pinaswipe mo doon sa iyong business credit card. Okay? So, pwede itong siyang ilagay as owner's draw or distributions. Okay. Aside from that, yung mga loan payments naman, ayan. So, katulad kanina, possible na yung mga pera na pumasok sa bank, hindi naman yan lahat income. It could be loan proceeds. Yung sa part naman ng mga charges, pwedeng yung mga amount na kinakaltas, hindi naman ito expenses. Kung hindi, loan payments. Okay? So, ayan. Review for loan payments recorded as expenses. Kaya nga minsan, pag mag-check na tayo ng loan statement, o bakit dito sa QuickBooks 25,000 tapos sa loan statement 10,000 na lang pala yung balance. So, could be ganun yung nangyari. Okay? So, instead na bawas doon sa payable or loan payable, na-record siya as expenses. So, malalaman nyo yan kasi yung dun sa schedule, ayan, no? Dun sa loan statement, pag hihingi na tayo doon kay prospective client. Okay? Okay, so next is review for any unusual or unexpected transactions. Okay. So minsan ito, hindi mo masyado ito ma-spot during your diagnostic procedure. Okay? So minsan makikita mo na lang ito on your actual clean up and catch up process. Okay? So just be mindful of this. Ayan, may mga unusual or unexpected transactions. So lalong-lalo na ngayon, no? Towards the end of the year. And then sa US kasi meron yan silang extension. Aside from March and April, meron yan silang extension September and October. So marami na pong maghahanap ngayon ng clean up and catch up. Actually, very late na nga kasi June or July, dapat naghahanap na sila ng someone to do the clean up and catch up. Okay? And then, towards the end of the year, like November, December, marami na yung maghahanap. Okay? Just to update their books. Ayan. Okay. Now, after the profit and loss, ayan, no, yung mga income accounts, expense accounts, okay, yan. So, punta naman tayo sa balance sheet. Yan, yung asset account, okay. So, aside from, na-mention na natin yung bank accounts kanina, no, bank accounts, the credit cards, ito naman yung tatandaan natin, no, like the other accounts. Hindi kasali dito yung AR, inventory, at saka bank account. For any unusual, unexpected, miscategorized, or old balances. Pwede ito yung mga prepayments, okay? Yan. So, another one is yung mga fixed asset. Okay. Baka ngayon, nailagay doon sa office supplies, yun pala, office equipment, yung mga ganun, no? Okay. So, determine whether accumulated depreciation needs to be recorded. But usually, malalaman nyo lang ito during the actual cleanup and catch-up na. Okay. Yan. So, normally, you would record accumulated depreciation from a previous tax return or ask the company's tax accountant if they have a schedule of depreciation. Okay. So, aside from that, determine also whether there are any balances in uncategorized assets. Kung makikita natin yan siya sa kay QuickBooks, okay? Pag meron nakalagay doon na uncategorized assets, so tanungin natin ito, bakit nailagay ito sa uncategorized assets? So is it really an asset transaction or baka expense transaction to? Okay? So you coordinate with the prospective client. Ayan. Okay. For the liabilities and equity naman, ayan, so except for the accounts payable and the credit card liabilities, ayan, so dito na yung pumapasok yung mga loans or other liabilities. And then take note of any unusual, unexpected, miscategorized, or old balances. Okay. So, lalong-lalo pag may makita na tayong naka-open and close parentheses, no? Yung mga negative balances. Ayan. Okay. Or baka yung mga old balances na dapat i-close na siya, no? Okay. So, if credit cards are not connected to bank feeds, review for credit card payments posted directly to credit card liabilities. Ayan. And then, kung may mga uncategorized transaction, kailangan na i-categorize ito ng maayos or to its proper account. Okay. The next is the opening balance equity. And makikita din natin ito sa kay QuickBooks. We have to reclassify it as needed. Okay? So that is for the equity part. Okay? Ayan. So ito yung mga usual na mga issue. We had something to do with inventory. Okay, so we have, for the inventory, review also whether the inventory balance on the balance sheet equals the balance in inventory valuation summary inside QuickBooks. Okay, so review also inventory valuation summary for any unusual or unexpected inventory balances. So, pag may makita tayong mga negative balances. Okay, kaya nga napaka-importante na if you are just starting out, okay, so pipiliin muna natin kung anong klaseng industry yung papasukin natin. Okay, so kaya nga kailangan natin piliin kung ano yung target market na ating i-focus. And if you're just starting out, go muna doon sa mga clients, okay, na wala mo ng inventory account. Okay, para ma-master mo muna yung usual na workflow inside QuickBooks or Xero. Then after that, you can level up, ayan, catering clients who have businesses na may mga inventory like e-commerce, yung mga trading, ganyan. Like they buy and sell goods. Okay? Yan. The next is, isa din ito sa pinaka-importante na accounts. So we have accounts receivable aging. Okay? So, kailangan din natin i-check kung pag-generate natin ng balance sheet, let's say yung accounts receivable balance as of the given date, dapat magkapareha doon sa aging summary. Now, ito yung matatandaan natin, no? Lalong-lalo kung meron pa mga more than 90 days. So, that is already a red flag. So, kailangan natin ipa-assess kay prospective client alin dito ang charge na as bad debts, okay? Or alin pa dito yung pwede pang maikolekta. And review also for any credit or negative balances. Ibig sabihin, collection lang ang nai-record, hindi nai-record yung pag-set up. So, pwedeng hindi nai-record yung invoice, pero open and close parentheses, ibig sabihin, collection lang ang nai-record. So, kailangan mo mag-record ng invoice para ma-offset yung collection. Yan. So, may mga ganun na mga instances, no, na pagtingin mo doon sa aging summary, yung iba naka-positive, yung iba naka-0, iba naman may mga negative 50 or negative 500 or negative 1,000. So, syempre, alamin natin ano yung breakdown nun. Baka bayad na siya, kaya lang hindi na i-record doon yung invoice. Okay? So, that's for accounts receivable. Then, for the accounts payable naman, same, no? Chine-check din natin yung magkano yung nire-reflect doon sa balance sheet. Let's say, accounts payables 10,000. Dapat sa aging summary, 10,000 din. Okay? As of the given date. And review also for any debit or negative balances. So, may makita tayo doon na naka-close and open parentheses. It could be, nabayaran na siya, pero hindi na set up yung payable account. Okay? May mga ganun na instances. Okay? Okay, so let's have an example, no? Ayan, example lang muna to. So, from diagnostic to clean up. Ayan. Okay. So, let's say your prospective client, ito yung background niya. So, real estate business na meron siyang 4 rental properties. Ayan. So, during your diagnostic process, no, yung books, hindi siya na-update for 12 months. Ayan. And then, sinasabi niya na marami siyang mga personal expenses, okay, na ginagamit doon yung business credit card or could be yung business bank account. And then, walang reconciliation. And then, palapit na yung payment ng taxes. Okay? Or yung tax deadline is fast approaching. Okay? And then, ito yung assessment mo, no? During the diagnostic procedure. Okay? So, bank reconciliations not done since last year. Okay? So, na-check mo doon sa kanyang books na may mga unreconciled transactions. So, ibig sabihin, ito yung mga transactions na kailangan mo pang i-validate or verify kung pumasok ba talaga ito sa bank account. Okay? So, that's worth 150,000. And then, expenses naman, mixed with personal, no? O, like, yung groceries, ayan, ito no, example lang. Yung groceries, nilagay sa repairs and maintenance. Okay. So, minsan kasi yan, makikita mo na yan during your actual cleanup and catch-up process na. Okay? So, minsan hindi mo pa yan makikita during your diagnostic procedure. Okay. And then, property management fees, missing or miscoded. So, ibig sabihin na miscategorized siya. So, feeling mo, hindi siya na-record, pero yun pala na ilagay siya sa ibang account. It could be other expense account. Pwede nating sabihin bank charges, no? Instead na the property management fees. Okay. And then, since meron siyang 4 na property, so syempre, yung owner, after siya doon sa respective profit and loss per property. Okay, so nakalagay dito, no clear profit and loss report for individual properties. Okay. Ayan. So parang may distinctive entity per property. Okay? So property 1, walang profit and loss report. Property 2, wala rin. Property 3, property 4. Okay. So hindi natin malaman kung alin doon sa property ang nag-earn, alin doon yung medyo kulelat, alin doon yung high earning, no, na property. Okay? So it could be hindi siya na properly track. Ayan, no? So maraming mga instances. Kaya nga ito yung nakikita before the clean up. Okay. Ito, loan balances not matching the lender or loan statements. Okay, ayan. No. Yun, sinabi ko na example, no? It could be doon sa statement, magkaiba yung balance versus doon na nasa kay QuickBooks. So maraming mga instances niyan, no? Yung mga loan payments na i-record siya as expenses or pwedeng na doble or pwedeng missing. Okay, so that could be the possible scenario. Okay? So ngayon, yung nag-diagnose ka na, you found out na 12 months, walang reconciliation. So pag walang reconciliation, ibig sabihin, from January to December, gawin mo ang reconciliation. Okay? So, you found out also na 25,000 personal transactions in business account. So, ibig sabihin, kung ito ay expenses, overstated yung expenses. Kasi personal transactions to. Okay? Next is, we have misclassified property improvement expenses. So, instead na i-capitalize siya, nilagay siya lahat sa repairs, no? As an expense. So, masyadong na bumaba yung kanyang profit. Kasi lahat ni-record as an expense. Okay. So, another one is missing mortgage interest entries. Ayan. So, walang ni-record na interest expense. Okay. So, halimbawa, ito yung maging diagnostic findings, no? Walang reconciliation, merong personal transactions na naipasok doon sa business. Okay? So, nag-balloon yung expense, bumaba yung income, lalo pa talagang nagbaba yung income mo kasi ito, yung property improvement ni-record as an expense under repairs. Okay? And missing mortgage interest. So, feeling mo na hindi na-record. Okay? So, it could be missing. It could be miscategorized to other account. O, pwedeng pinasok mo siya as bank charges. Ayan. So, that could be some of the reasons. No? Okay. Now, ito yung possible na gagawin mo for your clean up and catch up. Okay? So, make sure nakakonect yung bank account or credit card doon kay QuickBooks. Okay? And na-upload yung lahat ng transactions within 12 months. So, syempre, kailangan pa yan siyang i-check kung ano yung naipasok doon kay QuickBooks. Baka meron na siyang January, meron siyang February. So, may mga instances lang na may mga missing transactions. Okay? So, kailangan na natin siyang i-record. So, malalaman natin yan if we perform reconciliation each month. Okay? So, pag mag-reconcile tayo, i-by batch natin, by cut-off. So, kung si bank statement, okay, January 1 to January 31, February 1 to February 28, So, ganun dapat yung pattern natin. So, kung si credit card, iba din yung cut-off ni credit card, di ba? Let's say, meron siyang January 10 to February 9, and then February 10 to March 9, yung mga ganun, no? So, i-follow natin yung sa cut-off based doon sa statement. Okay, so dyan na natin malaman, no? During our clean-up process, meron bang mga doubling transaction? Malalaman na natin yan. May mga missing transaction pag pumasok na tayo dito. Reconciliation. Kasi, kino-compare na natin yung nasa bank statement, credit card statement, and ano yung nai-record kay QuickBooks. So, mini-mirror natin yan. Okay? So, pag merong sobra, ayan, so ibig sabihin may doble. Pag may kulang, may missing. So, kino-compare natin yung bank and what do you call this one? The credit card statement. Okay? Especially for the clean up and catch up. Ayan. So, from there, pag makita na natin yung mga statement, okay, familiarize na tayo, no? Unti-unti yung mga transactions. Okay, kasi minsan, mga paulit-ulit na yung mga transactions. So, makita ka na doon, may McDo, may Taco Bell, may Shell, yung mga ganun, no? Dunkin Donut. Okay, ito na pala yung kanyang mga transaction. Even yung mga deposits, minsan, ma-familiarize na natin yung mga customer names, okay? Or kung hindi yan customer names, ay, ano pala to, Stripe collections. So, ibig sabihin, meron pala siyang deposit coming from the Stripe. So, syempre, dapat i-check din natin yun. Okay? So, dyan na natin ma-explore during our actual cleanup and catch-up. Ayan. So, make sure reconcile each account each month from oldest to most recent. Kaya, ginagawa natin siyang by batch per cut-off. January, February, March. Same with credit card. Okay, so that's how we reconcile. Okay, from oldest to most recent. Yan. Then, para mapabilis siya, using, what we call this one, QuickBooks, okay? So, we create rules. Kasi, may mga transactions na paulit-ulit. Halimbawa, laging nagme-merienda or bumibili ng pagkain si client kay Taco Bell, Dunkin Donut, McDonald's, yung mga ganun, no? Siyempre, i-rule mo na yon, lagyan mo na yung meals entertainment para succeeding months, yun na yung account na gagamitin. Okay? When you create bank rules, mapabilis na siya. So, maipasok na siya agad doon sa, what they call this one, kay QuickBooks. No? Okay. So, ito yung isa sa mga maka-automate sa atin. Create bank rules to inside QuickBooks. Okay. And then, syempre, pag sinabi ni prospective client, okay, yung mga kinakain namin kay McDo, yan ay personal expenses. So, pwede mo rin yan gawa ng rules, no? Inside QuickBooks. Okay. Para ma-identify na anything na, what they call this one, yung mga snacks or foods related kay McDo, yun ay personal transactions. Okay? So, pwedeng gawan mo siya ng rules. Para pagdating mo yan ng March, April, May, June, July, ayan, naka-green na siya kasi may rules na siya. So, ibig sabihin, eto na yung mga accounts na dapat gamitin. So, mapabilis na siya ang pagpasok, no? Lalong-lalo na pag nagka-catch up ka, tapos wala pang laman yung QuickBooks niya from January to December. So, minamanual mo pa lang pag-upload ng transaction. Okay? So, may it be bank account or credit card. Okay. Then, since real estate property, meron siyang yung goal ni client, gusto niya malaman na at least alam ko kung magkano yung profit ni property 1, 2, 3, 4. So, ayan, no? Magkikreate ka na yan ng account or you use, what do you call this one? Yung tracking, ayan. By class ba yan? Okay. Inside QuickBooks. Para ma-separate mo ano yung mga income account and expense account per property. Okay? And then, for the loan payments, ayan, so we entered also yung mga missing loan principal and then interest schedules. Okay. So, eto, binibase na natin ito sa loan statement. Okay. Kano yung interest, magkano yung loan principal doon. So, dito na natin yan ma-determine. Bakit kaya wala akong nakikitang loan payment sa February? So, possible, napunta siya sa ibang expense account. So, instead na ililess siya doon sa loan payables, ang ginawa, pinasok siya doon sa, let's say, repairs and maintenance expense or any other expense account. Okay? So, ang babantayan mo na lang yung amount. No? Kasi meron ka namang reference doon sa loan statement mo. So, ang babantayan mo yung loan amount na lang. Same with the interest. So, it could be, nandun talaga siya sa QuickBooks, kaya lang, mali lang yung account title ang ginamit. Okay? So, ganun, no? May mga instances na ganun. So, during clean up and catch up mo na yan siya makikita. Okay? Then, verify totals against lender and property management statements. Yan. Okay. So, this is just an example, no? For real estate, okay, property investor. Okay. So, syempre, iba din yung setup doon sa e-commerce, iba din yung sa digital marketing, iba din yung sa cleaning service, iba din yung sa roofing construction. Okay? So, kaya nga mas maganda talaga na pag-aralan mo ano yung maging target market mo. Okay? Para alam mo yung setup, alam mo yung anong possible ng appearance na kanyang chart of accounts. Ayan. May loans ba talaga or wala? Hindi naman pwede na magkaroon pa ng loans. So, ganitong klaseng setup ng business. Yung mga ganun, no? Okay. Pero syempre, sa real estate, more or less, meron talaga yan, no? Okay. So, once you perform the clean up and catch up, so, eto yung possible maging scenario. So, after doing all those, yung lahat na yon reconciled na. Okay, check. So, malinis na yung trial balance mo, no? And then, expenses properly categorized. So, alam mo na kung ano yung pinasok mo sa CAPEX or capital expenditure versus doon sa repair. So, in effect, yung sabi mo na maliit masyado yung income kasi a majority of the expenses ay pinasok siya as repairs. So, ngayon, dahil na-correct na siya, unti-unti nagkakaroon na ng clear picture dun sa profit and loss report. Okay. So, same with owner's draw separated from business expenses. So, since yung personal transactions, pinasok mo siya sa business, so lumiit yung income at ngayon na-identify mo na ano yung mga transaction na personal, pinasok mo na sa owner's draw. So, hindi na siya kasali sa profit and loss report. So, unti-unti nang nag-a-adjust na yung net income mo. Okay? And then, makikita mo na sa picture what could be the profit and loss generated per property. Okay? And then, ayun, kung nagmamatch ba yung loan statement versus doon sa kay QuickBooks. And then, after that, your client is ready to file the taxes with accurate reports. Okay? Okay, so the results, ayan, yung client avoided the IRS penalties. Siyempre, pag mag-file ka on time, so wala ka nang babayan mga charges, late filing fees. Okay, so makikita mo na there's a clear visibility ng property cash flow per unit. So malalaman na ni client ay yung property 1 ko pala, ito pala yung malakas na magpapasok ng income. And then, what you call this, property 2, nasa middle, same with property 3, and property 4, ito yung list na makapagbigay. Okay? And then, after naayos ng books, pwede mo nang i-offer kay prospective client having a monthly bookkeeping retainer's fee. Ayan. Kasi syempre, ikaw na yung nag-ayos, then there's a bigger percentage na ikaw na yung kukunin as yung pang-monthly retainer. Okay? To prevent issues from happening again. Okay? So, kung nakikita ninyo, dito sa sample, from knowing the background of your client, okay? And then, before clean up, ito yung mga scenario na nakikita mo. And then, doing and finding out ano yung results ng audit mo. Ayan, may diagnostic findings ka na. And then, you perform the clean up and catch up. Yan, yung mga general process, no? Okay? And then, after mo magawa yon, eto na yung after clean up scenario mo. Okay? So, naayos na yung books. Ano na yung naging benefit sa part ni client. Okay? So, si client, hindi na siya masistress. Kasi on time yung pag-update na ng books kahit late yan. Okay? So, asahan nyo guys, no? Minsan yung iba may naghahabol pa yan. Okay? So kahit September, yung iba naghahabol pa for October. So syempre, i-assess natin kung kaya natin may habol yung sa time. Or else, you demand also additional charge. Okay? Lalong-lalo na pag medyo ipit na sa time. Okay? Ayan. So, i-consider natin yon, no? Kasi syempre, hindi din yun basta-basta yung work natin. Kasi brain cells din yung katapat niyan, no? Kasi may analysis pa, and then ina-assess mo pa per transaction. Actually, ang mas binabantayan mo dyan na yung last part na mag-clean up and cash up ka ay yung sa profit and loss, no? Kasi ina-assess mo yan. Tama ba itong rent expense? So, syempre, you make sure na kung nagbabayad ka monthly ng $150, dapat ganun din yun, no? January to December. Unless na lang kung may mga increase. Okay? So, yan kasi yung bulk ng work pagdating na sa towards the end na ng clean up and catch up. Yun bang ina-assess mo na yung amounts, yung trends, pag nag-generate ka na ng profit and loss per month. Okay? Before the final touch doon sa balance sheet. Okay? So, dyan kasi yan tumatagal, no? Pwede mo sabihin na reconcile mo na yung bank account, yung credit card. Kaya lang, pagdating na naman doon sa categorization, pag-generate ng profit and loss, ayan, per month mo naman yan. So, i-assess mo. Kasi, lahat bang pumasok sa office supplies ba talaga ito lahat ng transaction? Lahat bang pumasok sa rent expense mo? Siyempre, tignan mo pa yan. Okay? Eto ba? So, usually, yung ating reference niyan, payee name. Kaya napaka-importante na maglalagay tayo ng payee name, no? Doon sa mga transactions. So, may it be your customer or your vendor. Okay? So, yan kasi yung point of reference natin. So, madali nating ma-point out yan kay client. O client, ano ba itong binabayad mo kay McDo? Ano ba itong binabayad mo kay GoDaddy? Ano ba itong binabayad mo kay Namecheap? Mga ganon, no? So, malaman agad yan ni client kung ano yung mga ganon na transaction. Okay? Okay. So, yung actual demo, we will do that on Monday. And then I will also show you how to include your findings in your proposal plus doing the what they call this one, the timetable and the deliverables natin and the making of the proposal. Okay. So bibigyan ko lang muna kayo ng bird's eye view, no? Kung saan natin yan makikita usually yung initial assessment. Okay? So, we are inside QuickBooks. Okay? So, usually, makikita natin yan, magkaroon tayo ng initial assessment dito sa ating client overview. Okay? Ayan. So, dito pa lang, malalaman na natin kung ano yung mga subscription na kinuha ni client. And then here, like I said, ito yung pinakamalaking bulk ng work, the banking activity. So you will see here the bank and the credit card accounts. Okay? So ayan, no? Meron siyang PayPal. Ayan. So aside from that, meron siyang main bank account. So it could be etong bank account niya ginagamit to transfer money going to PayPal or from PayPal going to this one. Okay, so may mga ganun na instances. Okay, aside from that, meron din siyang credit cards. Okay, kung papansin nyo, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so meron din siyang Wise account. Okay, so madami kang babantayan na mga accounts dito. So if you kumbaga pa, kung napapansin nyo, last reconciliation was done 2024. Okay? So, hindi pa siya nakapag-file for 2024. So, late filer siya. So, usually, yung sa US, yung mga late filers, we have September and October. For September, we have the LLC, corporation, and then for October, yung mga single proprietor. Ayan. Okay. So, dito pa lang, meron ka ng assessment. Okay, so, ibig sabihin, ano ba to? Ano bang status nito? Kasi meron pa dito 27 transactions. Ito, last reconciliation, December 31, 2024. So, ibig sabihin, wala pang nagawang reconciliation from January to present. Okay? Yan. So, yung iba, never reconciled. Ano naman itong mga ibang transactions na ito? So, syempre, kailangan din natin itong bigyan ng assessment. So, same with the credit card. Ayan. Okay. So, kung napapansin nyo, may mga other issues din siya, no? So, we have undeposited funds. Ayan. 16 uncleared transactions. So, another finding naman yan. Okay. Aside sa etong mga findings mo, PayPal primary, reconciled niya December 31, ito never reconciled. Okay. So, credit card niya rin, last reconciliation, December 28, ito naman, January 10. Okay. So, kulang pa rin, hindi pa rin siya updated. Okay. So, sa undeposited funds, dito natin yan siya makikita. Kung malalaman ninyo, though meron nakalagay dito na total amount na 14,897. So we have here 16 unclear transactions. You can check this one here, no? So tingnan nyo lang itong bank deposit. Dito kasi yan pinapasok yung undeposited funds. Ayan. Okay. So kung makikita nyo, ayan, ito yung mga breakdown nila. Okay. Ayan. So we have here 13,000 plus the 1,897. Okay? Ayan. So dito mo na yan siya makikita. No? So meron 2025, 2024. So more or less, ang pinakaluma niya ay 2024. Okay? So that's how you check or i-validate etong undeposited funds. So, wala naman siyang uncategorized asset account, uncategorized income, pero pagdating naman ng uncategorized expense, meron siyang 83 transactions. Okay? So, 83 is 83. Madami. Ayan. Okay? Pero syempre, hindi pa natin alam kung ano bang year yan, 2024 ba, 2025? Okay. So, eto naman, more than 90 days, meron siyang 5 transactions. So, that is 3,250. Okay? And then, para malaman mo, what could be the average number of transactions per month, so pwede ka ditong mamili, no? Halimbawa, you wanna know doon sa 2024, let's say from November hanggang December. Example lang natin. So, okay. So, for 2 months, ito yung number of transactions nila. So, kunin mo lang yung average para during peak season, alam mo kung ilan yung per month transaction during the peak season. Okay? Para makuha mo yung average. Ayan. So, ito pa lang, sa client overview, may kumbaga pa ma-picture out mo na partially or magkaroon ka na ng partial assessment. So, ano yung partial diagnosis mo? Okay. So, ilang bank accounts yun? Tatlong credit cards, meron pang PayPal. So, more or less, nasa 7 or 8 accounts. So, yung iba, meron pang Wise dito, ganyan. Okay? And then, we have 83 uncategorized transactions, 16 uncleared, plus, eto kadami yung transactions. Okay. So, pwede ka na magko-compute or initial assessment, let's say, yung monthly transactions niya is more than 150 but less than 200 per month. Okay? So, madami din yun, ha? Okay. Mga ganun, no? So, that could be part of your initial diagnosis. Okay. So, meron din tayong checklist talaga per account. Okay? So, I will show you that on Monday. Yan. Okay? Dapat kasi ngayon, kaya lang, parang tinablan ata ako ng lagnat. Okay? Dahil siguro sa masamang panahon. Actually, umuulan nga ngayon dito eh. Okay? So, ayoko kasi na magbigay ako ng, yun bang baka magkamali pa ako yung pagbigay ko ng sagot sa inyo. Okay? Mas maganda yung okay yung pakiramdam natin. No? So, we will do the actual demo ng ating sample company together with the our checklist, our audit walkthrough checklist. Plus, I will also show you how are you going to create your proposal out from our audit findings, no? Para maintindihan natin. Okay. So, dahil sa ngayon, meron naman talaga tayong ChatGPT, kaya yan gawin. Pero mas gusto ko na gawin natin ito yung manually para maintindihan nyo. Okay? From creating the audit findings up to sa proposal natin, pag-create ng deliverables, the strategies, even yung timetable. Okay? So, gawin natin yan, no? Sa Monday. Ayan, para mababa yung time natin. Okay? So, that's a second session for the week 6. Kasi after ng ating diagnostic procedure, ang papasok na yan ay proposal and pricing na tayo. Okay? So, yan yung magiging next na process natin. Okay? Ayan. Okay, so let's entertain some of your questions. Okay. Ayan, no? A good question, Miss Roan. If mag-clean up and catch up po kayo, paano po approach no? Do you plot it po muna sa Excel? Or lahat po diretso na i-record sa QuickBooks or Xero? Okay. So actually, meron tayong step-by-step process kung paano gawin yung clean up and catch up. Okay, so meron tayong checklist niya, no? Hindi naman natin yan i-plot agad-agad sa Excel. So meron lang tayong gagawin. So, okay, let's step 1, ito yung gawin natin. Step 2, okay. So, doon tayo magsistick sa ating SOP kasi May mga case-to-case basis kasi yan. So, yung iba, merong isi-set up pa lang yung books. Ayan. Yung iba naman, meron ng existing QuickBooks. So, dalawa kasi yung scenario. Yung isa, papasok pa lang siya kay QuickBooks. Yung isa naman, meron ng existing. Okay? So, case-to-case basis. So, hindi naman talaga natin yan agad-agad ilagay. Depende pa din yan siya sa setup ng books ni client. Okay? Based po sa experience po, coach, ilan po yung pinakamarami na credit card or payment gateways? Nako, sa dami ba naman? Okay. Ang pinakamarami so far, meron akong clean up and catch up umabot ng 5 years. Okay? And then, ang main bank account niya, average number of transaction, it's more than 200 per month, but less than 250. And then may PayPal siya, may Shopify Pay. Kasi ano na yun malaki na yung business. So nasa, nag-ooperate na siya 5 to 7 years. Or 5 to 7 years or 5 to 8 years. Okay. So, kailangan namin mag-clean up and catch up for 5 years. Okay. So far, yun yung pinakamatindi ko na ginawang clean up and catch up. Kasi meron ding credit card. Alam niyo kung ilan ang credit cards niya. Aabot ng 15 credit cards. Okay? So, ang challenge lang doon kasi hindi ako binigyan ng full transparency when it comes to credit card. So, syempre, in-explain ko doon kay client. Okay, anong indication? So, what could be the consequence pag wala tayong panghahawakan na credit card statement? Kasi hindi natin masasabi na fully confident tayo doon sa transactions na ipinasok kay QuickBooks kung tama yan siya o hindi. Kasi wala man tayong hawak na credit card statement. So, yun nga, no? Napaka-importante na meron tayong direct evidence. Okay? Yung direct evidence natin, ito yung mga loan statement, credit card statement, bank statement. Kasi dito tayo magbe-base para ma-validate natin yung transaction. Kung tama ba talaga ito ipasok kay QuickBooks or hindi. Okay? So, ayan, no? It comes with the next question kay Miss Mary Grace. Ano pong gagawin if ever may mga lacking? Ayan. Okay. So, syempre, since bookkeeper tayo, we should communicate this one to the accountant. Okay, accountant, ito lang talaga yung maibigay ko sa iyo na report. Kasi based ni client na wala niyo yung statement. So possible kasi yung sa mga bank statement, pwede naman tayong manghingi niyan, no? Sa bangko. Same with the credit card institution. Pwede pa man din tayong manghingi niyan. Okay. So unless na talaga kung imposible na yan, minsan, pinapa-assess na natin yan or kumbaga pa, yung decision nasa kay accountant na yan. Okay? Doon na tayo mag-refer. Yan. For local industries who cannot afford utilize Excel, how do we go about the process? Definitely, no, yung hindi makapag-afford, based sa aking experience, mahirap na sa ngayon. Kung gusto niyo na mabilisan, dapat gumamit kayo ng accounting apps. Dahil may tendency kasi na magkamali kayo sa Excel kasi formula yan Okay? So may limitation siya. So if you use the app, pag may in-enter ka na ng data, from time to time, meron ka ng partial profit and loss and balance sheet na makikita. Unlike kasi sa Excel, magko-formula ka pa, okay? So siguro ang gagawin nyo, explain the pros and cons. Okay? So explain mo kay client. Okay, client, if you're after of the accuracy, the timeliness, or you want to beat the deadline, dapat meron tayong accounting app. And explain also the cost versus the benefit. Cost, okay? Cost of paying the accounting app. Hindi naman siguro sobrang mahal si QuickBooks or Xero versus doon sa maging malinis yung report. Okay? So, kailangan lang talaga natin i-explain what's the pros and cons. Okay? So, kung gagamitan ng Excel, mas malaki ang percentage na mag-e-error ka. Kung sa pabilisan lang, mas maganda na may accounting apps ka. Kasi anytime, pag naipasok mo ng transactions, meron ka ng partial, profit and loss, and the balance sheet. Okay? Kasi kung gusto mo na mag-generate niyan, punta ka lang sa reports, pwede mo nang makita yung P&L as of the given date or balance sheet. Right? So, it has something to do with communication pa rin kay prospective client. No? Ano yung magiging pros, ano cons? Ano bang mas magbigat sa'yo? Magbabayad ka lang ba ng monthly na $50 or $30 pero eto naman yung output versus kung gagamit ka ng Excel kaya lang yung percentage ng error mas malaki. Okay? So, you just have to explain, no? Ganun lang yung gagawin natin. Kasi kahit na ako, mahirapan na din ako, okay? Kung mag-excel pa. Kasi syempre may formula pa yan. Ayan, kahit magsa-sum if ka pa dyan, meron talagang percentage ng error. Magagalaw mo siya. Okay? So, syempre naka-formula, pag meron lang maklik or mamaling maklik ng mouse, wala na, dala na lahat. Okay? So, nakuha ninyo. So, ang kailangan na natin, explain it to your prospective client. Okay? So, communication lang. I-convey mo sa kanya, okay, client, ito yung pros, ito yung cons. Ayan. And then, syempre, nasa sa inyo na yan. Kung tatanggapin mo. Kung gusto niyo pa rin ng Excel, well, sa iyo, assess mo. Gusto mo ba yon na ikaw yung magmano-mano? Syempre. Pero kung halimbawa, hindi na yon nasa sa, ano mo, nasa, kumbaga pa sa ideal client profiling mo, then you can pass it on to others. Pwedeng ganun. Okay? So, ayan, no, Miss Menchi. Okay. Pag loan process, itatanong din po natin kay client kung ito na ba yung buong loan. Minsan kasi, Miss Nancy, hindi yan alam ni client. Okay. Kaya nga, manghingi tayo ng loan statement. Kasi ganito yan. Si client, focus na yun siya sa negosyo niya. Hire siya ng bookkeeper. Hindi natin alam kung tama or mali yung nagawa ng bookkeeper. Okay? So, ngayon, ang panghawakan natin yung loan statement. Pag meron tayong schedule dyan, okay, client, etong loan proceeds, saan ba ito pumasok? Okay, so sinabi ni client, pumasok ito sa bank account na ganito, ginagamit ko sa business. Okay, so ngayon, i-validate mo. Okay. Ito pala, kung nakalagay dito na date, August 17, so i-check mo ngayon dun sa bank account niya kung meron ba pumasok na 25,000 o kung meron kang nakita dun na 25,000. So that's the loan proceeds. Okay? So, ibabangga na lang natin yan siya doon sa loan statement. So, yun na yung gagawin natin. Okay? What if client and expense is... syempre, Miss Lenora, no? Ano tawag nito? Kung yun talaga ang in-insist ni client, then that's part of the business. Okay? Unless na lang kung kinabit niya yung kanyang personal bank account kay QuickBooks na hindi naman dapat. So, dapat i-explain natin na hindi dapat natin ilagay yung personal bank account kay QuickBooks kasi this is purely business. Okay? Do clients open up their personal expenses where? Yeah, you have to ask your client. Okay? So, what are the usual personal expenses? So, importante yan. Communication. So, like I said, communication. Okay? Tanong natin yan kay client. Yan. May mga chances po ba na nagsasabi si client na you contact this customer to ask for his payment balances? Usually, eto, sa accounts receivable na ito, na part. Okay. So, pag sinabi ni client na contact the customer, then we can also contact the customer and confirm yung balances. Okay? Para malaman natin kung tama yun. No? Okay. So, it's a matter of confirming the balance ng customer. Okay? Pero eto, pumapasok yan siya, Miss Mary Grace, kung magpa-manage si client sa kanyang accounts receivable. Okay? Basis ng computing depreciation, syempre depende yan siya sa klase ng assets, number of years, okay? Hanggang ilang years yan siya ma-depreciate. Yan, okay? So, ilang queries po ba ang pwede po ba ipadala? Okay lang po ba? Yes, pwede. Pwede weekly. Pwede nga kung halimbawa, in a day, may 10 query ka, then do it daily. Okay? Or, ang gagawin mo, ilagay mo siya sa spreadsheet na shareable siya. Okay? And then, pag nakita mo doon na wala pa rin siyang nilalagay na status, follow up ka pa rin kay client. Bahala na dyan makulitan si client, follow up mo pa rin siya. Kasi ikaw lang din ang mahihirapan. Okay? Kasi based on my experience, meron akong client na ang tagal masyado sumagot. Minsan tinatawagan ko na. Ayan, miss call ko lang. Kasi meron naman kaming WhatsApp. O gano'n. Okay? So, bahala na siya makulitan. Okay, ikaw lang din ang mahirapan. Pagdating na doon sa, ano tawag nito? Sa tax season, ikaw lang din mahirapan yan. Kasi lalo na pag marami kang client. Okay, magkasabay-sabay yan, no? So, habang meron ka pang extra time ngayon, unti-unti mo nang i-update o yung may mga tanong, ibato mo na kay client para may sagot ka na. Okay? Para hindi ka matambakan. Baka pagdating ng December, hindi ka na mag-enjoy sa holiday. Okay? So, ayan. Recategorize or reclassify? Yes, same pa rin yan siya, no? May mga situations pa ba na nag-force balancing or even sa FS? Actually, si accountant din kasi may final say niyan. Okay? Regarding sa inventory. Kaya nga, importante yung may physical inventory counting. Kasi yan yung pinaka-valid na evidence na nag-exist pa yung inventory as of the given date. Okay? How many days an audit walkthrough be performed? Okay. So, ito yung maging process, no? Let's say, nag-discovery call tayo. Let's say today, nag-discovery call. Ano ngayon? Sabado, nag-discovery call. Kung kailan nagbigay si client ng access doon kay QuickBooks, doon ka magbibilang as day 1. Hindi doon sa kinabukasan, binila mo na yung day 1 pero hindi pa niya binigay ang access. Siyempre, hindi ka makagalaw kung walang access sa books niya. So, at least nagbigay ka ng 2 days, okay, para makapag-audit ka. And then, after that, i-draft mo na yung sample proposal mo. So, you give an estimate date kung kailan kayo magkaroon ng second call to discuss the proposal together with the investment. Yes, sa real estate, yes, you can start that as a newbie. Ayan. Sa reconciliation po, pag different ang cut-off. What cut-off? Okay. Ms. Rodora, a good question. Yung sa credit card kasi, no, iba yung cut-off, let's say, December 15 to January 14, 2026. O, example lang ha. Pero syempre, may mga transactions niyan in between December 16 to December 31. Kasali pa rin dapat yon. Okay? So, kailangan pa rin natin yun siyang i-record. Kasi nag-exist na yun siya. Okay? So, if possible, yung reconciliation mo sa credit card, dapat aabot siya ng January para maipasok yung transactions na applicable sa December. Okay? Kapag nag-upload po ba ng bank credit card, saan pong account ilalagay? Personals na. Okay. So usually honors draw, ayan, yung mga personal expenses. When you do diagnostic, you tell your findings or you send. Okay. So eto mga diagnostic, yung mga audit findings natin, nilalagay na natin yan siya sa proposal. So, ayan, no, ipapakita ko yan sa inyo. sa Monday. Okay? From the findings, and then mag-create na tayo ng draft for the proposal. Kasi yung audit findings, yan yung maging basis ng ano yung maging strategies mo, scope of work, your deliverables, and your timetable. Plus your pricing or tinatawag nila na investment ni client. Okay? How much was the proposal for job to do the cleanup? Okay, it depends upon the complexity of the business. That's why your basis here will be your audit findings. That will be the basis for your proposal and for your pricing. So, syempre, kung marami kang nakikitang mali, marami kang audit findings or yung mga accounts na bibigyan ng special attention, then, ibig sabihin, marami kang scope of work, then, yung pricing mo, mag-i-increase siya. Okay? Pero pag konti lang, medyo minimal lang yung dapat na gawin, then, minimal lang din yung ipa-charge mo doon. Kung medyo konting ayos na lang doon sa books. Okay? So, kaya nga, yun yung magiging basis ng pricing natin. Kasi, pag may audit findings, alam na natin kung ano yung pwede natin gawin. Okay? Ilang araw ko ba gawin yung bank reconciliation, yung credit card, ganyan. So, syempre, ino-note mo yan. Ilang transaction ba siya per month? Okay. So, siguro sa buong taon, ito yung possible na hours or days na pwede ko siyang gawin. Okay? So, ayan, no? So, yan yung magiging basis natin, your audit findings. Kailangan din aralin ang third-party app. Tinuturuan mo ba kayong mag-navigate? Tuturuan, actually, yung mga apps, hindi na yan siya, no? Okay. Wala na yan siya. Kasi dito kasi sa masterclass, it's more on the basic accounting, the QuickBooks, and the Xero. Sometimes, we also give free session, depende, no? Okay, kasi yung mga A2X, pang e-commerce yan, folio naman, yan naman po ay sa real estate. More or less, nasa ano na yan nasa advanced level na yan siya. I think, nasa RUOL na yan siya. Yung mga A2X folio. So, it's all about niche bookkeeping na. Okay? So, generally kasi, ang focus kasi natin dito is yung nasa basic foundation tayo. Okay? Ayan. Is it common scenario they propose retainers contract? Yes. Okay. So, pwedeng ikaw na din mismo ang mag-offer niyan. Pwede mo rin yan siyang isali sa pricing package mo. Okay. I see. So, meron palang AC ng 7 p.m. Okay. Yan lang ba yung may AC sa Monday?
Yes po, miss.
Okay. So, hindi tayo pwede ng gabi. So, we'll make it Monday na. We'll make it 3 p.m. na lang, guys, sa Monday.
Okay po, Coach. 3 p.m. Thank you.
Yan. Thank you for telling me that kasi ang inaay ko yung 7 p.m. Sige. So, mas okay 3 p.m. So, more or less, nasa 2 hours tayo yan.
Thank
Okay.
you.
So, 3 p.m. Yes, i-record po natin yan. Oh, meron palang Divine Mercy Congress. Okay, okay lang yan. So, recorded naman yan siya, Miss Menchi. Is it proper if I ask for bank statements even if ano ito? Nakalink? Yes, kailangan natin yan siyang i-ask, no? Kahit nakalink pa yan, nakalink ba ito? Hindi ko na tuloy mabasa. Bakit kaya? May nagbabara dito na ano. Is it proper if I ask? So, we have to ask for the bank statement. Okay? Naka-PDF file yan siya. So, like I said, hindi yan automatic na kahit naka-connect yan siya online, mada-download yan. May glitch si QuickBooks. Katulad nung, kailan ba yun? Parang Friday or Thursday. Pag pumasok si client sa QuickBooks niya, walang problema. Pero pumasok kami sa QuickBooks niya, may problema. Hindi nag-update. O, yan, glitch na yan ni QuickBooks. So, better manghingi talaga tayo ng bank statement kasi hindi yan maiiwasan may doble or missing transaction kahit naka-connect yan siya online. Okay? At saka, just to make sure, no? Kung kampante ka talaga na eto talaga yung ending balance ni Chase Bank as of given date na pareha doon sa bank statement. Kaya manghingi talaga tayo. Okay? So all you have to do is explain it to the client, no? So the significance of having those bank statement or credit card statements. This is to validate whether all transactions from those bank or credit cards are recorded inside QuickBooks. So pag hindi, it could be missing or double entry, which could impact the profit and loss. It's either overstated or understated yung expenses or income na may impact din siya sa net income na yan yung magiging basis kung magbabayad tayo ng taxes. Okay? Kapag po ba naka more than automatic, hindi naman talaga agad na automatic i-write-off. Ipa-assess muna natin yan kay client kasi may possibility din yan na pwede pa yung makolek yung iba. Okay? So, ipa-assess na natin kay client. Client, alin ba dito yung pwede pa nating makolek or write-off na? Okay, syempre, siya kasi yung mas nakakaalam dun sa mga customer niya. Okay? Ayan, nagsasagot na pala si Miss Cyril. Will we have access to... Ay, hindi po. Ano kasi ito QuickBooks ng isang client. We can proceed to... Yes, pwede din yan siya, Miss Avian, no? Yung client overview, initial assessment. Okay? Ayan. So, thank you pala, Miss... si TL Cyril pala to. Ayan. Okay, thank you pala, Miss TL Cyril. Ayan, for answering some of the questions. Hirap naman po noon, Coach, most of the transactions. Yes, no? Kaya nga, dyan tayo pumapasok. Ayan, kaya nga, yung clean up and catch up, that's a premium bookkeeping skill. Kahit yan lang yung i-master ninyo, guys. Kasi, sa ilang taon ako nag-bookkeeping and accounting, yan yung number one problem ng prospective clients. Halos lahat ng industry. Clean up and catch up. Why? Kasi focus sila sa growth ng kanilang business, secondary lang yung bookkeeping. Minsan nagdi-DIY. Siyempre, hindi naman sila accounting graduate, hindi na nila alam. Okay? So, yan yung number one problem nila. Hindi updated, nagdi-DIY sila, iniwan sila ng bookkeeper nila, nilayasan sila ng bookkeeper, may hinire sa bookkeeper, pero hindi din marunong, yung mga ganun, no? So, yun yung mga usual na underlying problems kung bakit they need clean up and catch up. When reconciling po amendment transaction pero not recorded, we have to recreate when recording, they're not recorded. Do we have to, yes, we have to record kung may mga missing transactions. Kung si client ko ba nagbabayad? Yes, siya po nagbabayad ng accounting apps. Wala po tayong binabayaran ng mga apps, si client po. Even QuickBooks, zero, si client po magbabayad niyan. I'm not sure with the QuickBooks and zero referral programs, no? Yan. Ayun, may gumagamit na rin ng QuickBooks. Miss Marlene, meron din gumagamit ng zero, no? For local clients. Estimated life. Depende din yan siya, Miss Rodora, sa country. Okay, when it comes to sa depreciation rule. Okay. So, Monday, let's make it 3 p.m. guys. Okay? Yes, meron din yan siyang bearing, no? Kung anong klaseng setup doon sa business. Proprietor ba siya, partnership, or LLC? I'm not sure, no, sa zero. I think meron din ata yan siya, yung initial assessment. Okay? Ayan. So, don't forget, this coming Monday. So let's make it 3 p.m. So pagpasensyahan nyo na ako guys, no? Tinablan ata ako ng sobrang init dito tapos biglang umulan. Tsaka ngayon kasi umuulan din dito sa Jensan. So ayoko naman din kasi mag-deliver ako ng, you know, yung coaching session natin na medyo lutang, baka mali pa yung maibigay ko na sagot sa inyo. Okay? So, let's make it Monday para meron tayong ano tawag nito? May flow tayo, no? From audit, okay? And then getting the audit findings and then magde-draft tayo ng proposal. Okay? Kaysa yung mag-rely tayo kay ChatGPT. Actually, kayang gawin ni ChatGPT. Okay? I can also teach you that. But then, I have to teach you the basic first para maintindihan ninyo. Ano yung flow from creating the findings and then ano yung ilalagay natin doon sa proposal. Okay? So, bakit ginagawa natin yung proposal and then kailan natin ito ipe-present kay prospective client. Okay? So, syempre, gusto talaga natin na ma-impress, di ba? Si prospective client para ma-close talaga natin siya. Right? Ayan. Okay? So, alam nyo na, yung panahon ngayon, iba na talaga. Okay. So, ayan, no? Ingat kayo, guys. Miss Sam, do you have any announcement?
Yes. First, thank you, TL Cyril. Nakikinood lang po daw siya habang nagluluto. Tapos, ayun, tinulungan niya na tayo sumagot. Ayun. Thank you, TL. And yung AC pa rin po ninyo, yung recordings, paantay lang po. Because currently si Miss Rufa, not feeling well din. Kaya paantay lang po sa recordings. And our attendance sheet after this call, post ko na rin po sa Discord natin. Batch 16 channel and announcement channels. And if ever you want to explore our RUOL for niche bookkeeping, currently we have affiliate program. Baka gusto nyo po sumali. Posted na rin po sa ating mga pages. Okay, so yun lang po. Get well soon, Miss Alfie. Bawal manghina, miss.
Bawal
And and to everyone, health is wealth. Mag-ingat po kayo lagi. Lalo na ngayon na unpredictable yung weather, na biglang umulan, biglang mainit, ganun. So ayun lang po. Thank you so much for your time. I will be posting announcement for our part 2 on Monday at 3 o'clock p.m. Ayun. Thank you so much. Bye-bye
Okay,
po.
thank you guys. See you po sa Monday. God bless.
Thank you po.